Hey, what's up? My name is Petrowski, and today I wanted to make kind of a quick guide or a succinct guide talking about RP and what different players who play the game in different playstyles and in different ways should spend their RP on. So for those who don't know, RP is kind of the in-game real-world money currency. It's called reward points. You can buy them with real world money, and clicking this button will take you to like a link, and I believe you can buy them with like gift cards and stuff like that, which is kind of cool, kind of a cool option you don't see in many games. You can also buy them on the GTL. You can go ahead and search RP, or at least 100 RP, and you can see the lowest price for a 100 RP voucher. Now, 100 RP is equal to around $1, and 1,000 RP is equal to around $10, so it can be important to keep that in mind when doing any sort of transactions with RP. But that's basically the basis of RP covered. Let's go ahead and cover some of the items. And first things first, I actually wanted to talk about a bit of an outdated item. So, Amnesia Brace. This item used to be very, very useful back in the day. I actually bought one back in around 2014, 2013. It was a very important, very useful item back then because PvP battles used to not have tournament mode. And what that basically means is everything was user rule driven, and the TLDR is that your Pokemon had to be level 50. There was no level scaling. So what happened was, if your Pokemon reached level 51, it was now a useless competitive Pokemon. You'd have to level it all the way to 100 and battle in 100s, which nowadays 100s don't exist, thankfully, because that was a pain. But yeah, getting leveling your Pokemon, your competitive Pokemon, on accident to level 51 back in the day was like a death sentence. It was like a huge meme. So Amnesia Brace came out where you could EV train something or like re-EV it without gaining XP. So you could keep your Pokemon at that level 50 without making it a ruined comp. But you had to spend real world money for this. But everyone kind of accepted it as like, oh, you pay $10 for a very important item. It sucks that you had to pay. You couldn't trade for it back in the day. I remember. I think it was it's untradeable still to this day. But nowadays it's pretty outdated, and you don't need this item basically ever. It's a cool piece of history in PokeMMO, and I really love it. But it's not really important nowadays, and I wouldn't recommend buying it for any player. Okay, but moving past the useless item onto the more useful items. Okay, the most recommended thing that I'd recommend to kind of all players, if you can afford it, 800 RP is kind of a lot, but a PC expansion drive is going to benefit a lot of types of players, and I think that's why it's the best like general overall upgrade. I'm going to be trying to address a lot of different play styles throughout this video and helping you understand what to buy based on how you play the game, but every general player could usually benefit from a PC expansion drive, at least as long as you've been playing the game for a long time. If you've been playing this game for a month, or even a year, or even like maybe 2 years, your PC is not going to be that full. You're not going to have issues with that. My PC, on the other hand, is very full. You might have seen in the Finneon catching event video, I came down to around 4 empty box spaces left, and I was pushing it, so PC expansion drives can be super important. I definitely want to get some in the future, but I'm in no rush personally. It's really important to manage your boxes so you don't have to, if possible, but I think eventually everyone's going to reach a point where you kind of need that PC expansion drive, unless you're not a hoarder like me and you can, sell your comps that you don't play with anymore, or get rid of Pokemon you don't necessarily use as much. Now, the Battle Box expansion drive. I honestly don't use Battle Boxes a whole lot, but I could find these being convenient if you're a common PvP player, or having these kind of preset parties for shiny hunting, or for PvE style stuff, like for gym battles, having your double Typhlosion, your Whimsicott, and your Torkoal in a Battle Box could be super nice and just convenient. I usually just group my Pokemon together in my boxes. I think Battle Boxes are they're not required in my opinion, but they can be very convenient and very nice. So that's just based on what kind of player you are. It's up to you. If you think you'll find use out of it, please feel free. It could be very useful to some players. It could be totally not useful at all to other players. All right, and now on to the most important item that everyone should buy. Ocarinas. Ocarinas are pretty nice. I think they're helpful for every type of player. They're not required, and I think they are a bit of a luxury and a bit of a convenience. I think players kind of hype them up a little too much, in my opinion. Having an HM friend can really save you a ton of these, although the teleport Ocarina is probably my most recommended. Due to my style of play, due to how much shiny hunting, EV trading, and leveling I do, I'm constantly going back and forth between the PC, so having that quick teleport really saves me a ton of time, and not having to have a teleport Pokemon in my party is huge for that. So teleport Ocarina is my #1 recommendation, and then fly and surf are like my secondary recommendations. There's one for each HM, so cut, rock smash, strength, flash, waterfall, rock climb, dig, defog, and dive all have their own ocarinas. You don't use most of them that commonly. The like semi more common ones might be like cut, strength, and rock smash, and then like the rest are pretty uncommon. You only need them for like storylines or to get into very, very specific areas. Okay, now on to Donor Status. I'm sure a lot of you guys were looking for this one. I think Donor Status is actually underrated, at least comparatively to Shiny Charm. So if you're getting Donor Status, you're most likely a shiny hunter. I would not recommend getting Donor Status unless you are shiny hunting. It's not worth the 25 extra percent XP in battles or the 10% faster egg hatching. The main reason why you buy Donor Status is for the 10% chance of encountering shinies, the 10% increased chance. That is so huge, and it actually can be very, very helpful, especially on top of shiny charms. It is very important to remember that Donor Statuses are actually way more cost efficient in-game and out-of-game if you're shiny hunting than shiny charms. It's, in my opinion, it's always worth. I would never shiny charm without also being on a Donor Status, if that makes sense. I'd always save up and get that Donor Status, and then I would combine my charms with Donor Status, but I would never spend money on a charm to last only 1 hour for 400k when I could buy a 7-day donator for around 1.2 mil, and then just get way more value out of that. Like, think about that, right? What's the math on that? If you were to buy a Donor Status for 1.2 mil, you could literally just spend 3 hours, simply 3 hours right now, shiny hunting and already make up for it, as opposed to buying 3 shiny charms. Shiny charms are super overpriced and super not worth it unless you're really going for that extra mile and want that percentage chance over Donor Status. Shiny charms are also a good like team building activity and a good thing to do in communities. That is their one benefit over Donor Status. But if you're going for pure value, getting Donor Status tickets is way, 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 way better than shiny charm hunting. Okay, and as a quick pricing benchmark, as the recording of this video, Donor Status 7 days are worth around 1.2 mil, 15 days are worth around 2 mil, and then 30 days are worth around 3.4. Okay, and now on to the credit card Andy item. So for those who don't know, there are items called reward point vouchers, which I showed in the GTL a little bit. These are basically the items that a person will buy RP with real world money and then buy these and then sell them for in-game profit. So this is kind of the credit card Andy way of making Pokeyen if you don't want to play the game. I don't really recommend this to anyone. I don't recommend this style of play. I recommend kind of earning that Pokeyen in-game yourself. I think it's more fun that way, and I think it's more rewarding and beneficial. But please play however way you want. Some people just simply don't have the time to really, play in that positive way that they would like, and sometimes they need a little boost. I understand. I'm not going to fault you for that by any means. Please play however you would like and whatever makes you happy, but just be aware of it and don't kind of destroy your own experience if it's possible. Only use this as a way to benefit your experience and be careful about, kind of ruining it in that way. So I just recommend being careful, and I recommend a word of caution with doing this kind of method and using reward money to buy reward points and then selling for Pokeyen. Just be careful and ask yourself if you really need it. Okay, and then on to a little more bougie, little fancy, cute item. Are going to be these 2 particles that are in the shop right now. I actually don't know if these are temporary or seasonal. They don't say that, so I think they're permanent, which is pretty interesting. But there is the white kitty particle effect and the black hole particle effect. You can actually go ahead and click preview and view one of these. So I'm going to show you guys the white kitty one. It's pretty cute. He's going to throw out 2 Charizards on this side and on this side. The kitty will come out of the portal, run around, give a little meow. It's pretty cute, pretty cool. I recommend it. You can go ahead and check the price on the GTL. So currently, white kitty particles are going for around 509k, around 500k. It's pretty cute, pretty cool. Particles are interesting to me. I like the customization of them a lot. I've kind of personally failed to find a particle that I've fallen in love with, but particles are basically a starting battle animation that when you send that Pokemon out into battle, it'll have that animation. There is, for example, the shiny animation is considered a particle, kind of, but it's a custom original particle. Here, I can actually show you in the Pokemon. So it'll say, I believe here, yeah, under particles section, you can see shiny particle effect unique to shiny Pokemon. So only shiny Pokemon will have that kind of sound effect and that animation that shiny Pokemon do have. And if you put a particle on a shiny Pokemon, it does replace that. So I recommend not doing that personally, but if you do want that specific particle for a specific shiny, I understand. Maybe you have a shiny Eevee and you really want the white kitty particle on it to kind of match that like color scheme. I think it's interesting. It's cool. I think it's a cool element, an extra layer of customization within Pokemon battles, and I'm always up for more customization. That is what I'm all about as an MMO player, so happy to see it. Alright, but I believe that covers everything I wanted to cover in this video. I just wanted to quickly cover some of the beneficial things you can do with RP, and whether you want to save your Pokeyen up for this kind of thing late game, or whether you want to spend real world money on it, you know, do whatever you'd like to do. I'm not going to cover vanity items in this video. I could do like some funny opinion meme video piece on that, but that wouldn't be a very, you know, that's whatever. But anyways, thank you guys so much for your time. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Leave comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, feedbacks, video ideas in the comments below. Subscribe to show support, and subscribe for more daily PokeMMO content. The more you guys subscribe, the more I want to put out content, so really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Join the Discord below. There's a lot of cool people there hanging out in the Discord, people who love this game, people who are educated on this game, people who are new to this game. Hang out with them, talk to them, ask questions, answer questions, be helpful, be part of the community. It's a pretty cool space, so go ahead and join the Discord below, and thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day.